Hi, I'm Em again, and this is Runners Yoga Take 2. Again, everything is going to be on the floor, and yeah, hope you like it. Right, let's get into downward facing dog. Right, a few pointers on downward facing dog. Making sure your middle fingers are pointing towards me, and roll up your big toes and go into downward facing dog. Right, you need to be on an off-center triangle, so both arms are straight. Really relaxing up your head and really push your hips back. Push your hips back, squeezing up your shoulders. Your core is in, belly button to spine, and your legs are engaged. Making sure your feet are about 15 or 20 inches apart, and don't worry if your heels don't touch the floor. If your heels touch the floor, making sure you aren't like this. That is not downward facing dog. And keep breathing. You should be feeling it into your hamstrings, the calves, the core, the arms, and nod your head side to side. And again, if you want to stay in here, you can pause it up the video or start walking towards the hands. You can bend it if you need, and folding down into a standing forward fold. Right. Your hands can go on your shins. If you've got tight hamstrings or lower back, bending up your knees. You can get your peace fingers and you can put them on the inside edge of the big toes. And literally, making sure you haven't got a rounded spine, folding down. Really relaxing up your head, your shoulders, and really trying to get your head as closely as you can towards the shins. If it's knee or knees, you're rounding. Making sure you aren't like that. Hands and fold down. Keep breathing. Making sure the weight is into your toes and it isn't into your heels. Right, now we're going to fold down into a ragdoll. So really bending up your knees and get your elbows and folding down. Keep breathing, making sure there's no tension in the upper body, and rock side to side. If you're like me, I get a little bit of a tight back after I've been running. It's nice just to massage it all out. And go to centre, hands on the floor, and start coming up. Have a little bit of a shake out. Right, now we're going to do Malasana. Everyone that comes to class absolutely hates this pose, but we're going to do it anyway. It gets into your hip flexors and it gets into your calves as well. So, feet about hip width apart. You may need to bring them a little bit closer in or bring them further out. If you really need to have both the feet on the ground, if you haven't, you can use a block and start going down. Hands heart center. Right, feet on the ground, and making sure you aren't like this. Right, elbows onto the outside edge of the knee and lifting up your chest. Really lifting up and squeeze up your elbows away from you. Ah, oh, lovely. You really feel it in your hip flexors. Keep breathing. Right, now we'll do a little bit of a twist. Again, if you need to do this pose a lot more, pausing up the video. Right hand on the floor, and the left hand goes to the sky. And the other side. And release. Let's go into Malasana again. Right, if you've got really tight calves, this is a good one for you. So hands on the floor and just rocking side to side. Always looking forward. Don't look towards the ground. Right, and release. Dropping back. And legs a little bit of a shake. Right, now we're going to go into frog, and this really stretches the inner groin and the hip flexors as well. I've been having a little bit of a problem with my sartorius and my the gemellus muscle, and these are like, they run along here. So frog's really good for that. So into tabletop and spread your knees as wide apart as they can go. And once you've done that, making sure your feet are at 90 degrees. And I prefer teaching this with your elbows on the ground. If you're feeling anything here, this is your pose. Otherwise, push your hips back and you will feel it like immediately, and really relaxing up your head, the shoulders, and finding up your edge. So once you feel it, you're in it. And again, keep breathing. Make sure there's no tension in the lower back. Obviously there's going to be tension in your hips, and just breathe and let it go. And release. So release, hips forward and up onto your hands. I'm going to get you out of this. So feet together and literally just dragging up your knees. Woo. Right. Into tabletop again. Okay, right leg and put it there. Right, we're going to do a runner's lunge. So start coming up. And this is the runner's lunge. So your hips are forward and making sure the knee is always parallel to the ankle or it's behind it, never in front. Really relaxing up your shoulders. When you do this, just hold it and do not do that. Don't do that. And you'll find that every time you breathe, you go a little bit deeper into it on each exhale. Obviously this gets into the hip flexors. Hands on the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Start pushing it back into a half splits. Inhale. Lengthen up. Exhale. Folding down. And again, if you've got really tight hamstrings or lower back pain, bending up your knees. And start coming up again. So every time I do this, I would probably do this about 3 times. I would probably be holding it for like 10 minutes, to 10 breaths, not 10 minutes. Just doing that each time because it really gets into your hamstrings as well. Right, let's do that on the other side. Hips forward and really release. And again, if this is a pose for you, pause up the video. Hands here. Inhale. Exhale. Start creeping back. Making sure you aren't leaning on your toes and your bum is in the sky. And folding down. And release. Right now we're going to do some quad stuff. People absolutely hate this when I do it in class, but it's really good. So left leg straight and your right leg goes beside the right leg. Making sure you aren't actually leaning on it. Don't do that. Right, I used to absolutely hate this pose when I first started. Because I was like doing like loads of triathlons and running, and I didn't really stretch. And when I did this, I was in pain, like here. I could go back or forward or anything. It really gets into the ligaments, into the feet. It really hurted my feet actually when I first started doing it. And it gets into the quads, and it also it stretches up the hip flexors as well. So it does everything really. Right, so if you're feeling something here, this is your pose. Otherwise, hello Phoebe, start going down. You can go onto your elbows, your head can go stay here, or it can go back, or you can go all the way towards the floor. Right, when you go towards the floor, your left feet is flexed and making sure the right knee is on the floor. If you're like that, you aren't doing it. Right knee's on the floor. And again, keep breathing. Relaxing up your elbows, your hands, shoulders. And let's start coming up again. And go towards the left and shaking it out. It will absolutely feel really gross after. Just shake it out. It feels fine then. Let's do that on the other side. Don't sit on it. And again, you may have like you have like one side that's a little bit like, but if you keep doing it, it'll be fine. Right, don't sit on it. And go back down onto your elbows. If you're feeling fine here, all the way towards the floor. And making sure the left knee is on the floor. And flexing up the right toes. And let's come up again. And go towards the right and wiggle it all out. Woo. Right, let's get into wind releasing pose. We're nearly done. Into wind releasing pose. And rock side to side. Making sure the small of the back is on the floor. And really relaxing up your shoulders. Little circles, anything you need. This is a little bit of a forward bend. And go to center. Make a T shape with your arms. Inhale. Exhale. Knees go towards the right. And look towards towards the left and look towards the right. And really relaxing down. Make sure you've got both shoulders on the floor. And this one kind of gets into your ITB band as well. Your ITB band is a ligament that runs from the bum all the way towards the knee and a little bit towards the shin as well. Let's do that the other side. And look towards the left. And start coming down. And release. Wiggle up your legs. Right, hope you've enjoyed it. That's if you need anything, just let me know. If you need stretches or any yoga, just let me know and I will do your video.